I really enjoyed the Christmas pageant. It's not perfect. There are a few little things here and there that I'll mention that I found to be a little bit frustrating. But generally, I found it to be a very pleasant, uplifting film. This was released originally in 2011. It's directed by David S. Cass Sr., written by Mark Valenti, and stars Melissa Gilbert as Vera Parks. She's a stage director. She's just been fired from a job on Broadway because things are just not going right. And she's desperate for work and she gets the opportunity. And she might not see it as an opportunity, but she gets an offer of money to go and direct this Christmas pageant in this little town. And she goes along and she realizes that there was a reason why she went to this little community pageant. Somebody wanted her there, somebody from her past. And I won't say any more than that, but it does connect the romantic leads together. We have Jack, played by Robert Mailhouse, and he has the classic Christmas rom-com young daughter. His daughter is called Kristin. She's played by Wynn, and she definitely provides a youthful energy. Unfortunately, not everybody's very energetic about the situation because obviously Vera's come along and is wanting to change everything. This community pageant has been the same for decades, and if I remember rightly, since the 1800s. But they hired her, so surely they must have known she was going to do something with it. And not everybody is in agreement with the way things are being done, and tensions are pretty high. They're doing the Christmas nativity, which I love. So that aspect of it I thought was really wonderful, and seeing her insights and bringing this story to life, even if it came with problems among the cast and crew. But it was really nice to see the process, to see the highs and lows, and we had some really interesting character developments for, well, I won't say who, but it'll be obvious when you watch it, but certain characters, we learned more about them as the film went on, and I found that to be really well paced and really interesting. The characters were all likable. Even characters who didn't have the best attitudes were enjoyable to watch, and their journeys were really enjoyable. With regards to it being festive, it's generally not that festive outside of the Christmas pageant. It's not that snowy. People aren't wrapping gifts. They're not drinking that many hot drinks. Vera's drink of choice is peppermint tea with honey. I guess peppermint's kind of Christmassy. So if you're looking for a film that's full of Christmas, this isn't it. But if you're looking for a heartwarming film with a festive backdrop, this one will really fit that bill. And the romantic relationship between Jack and Vera, I think, worked very well. However, I do have concerns about the mental well-being of Kristin, but I'll talk about that with a spoiler warning in a moment. The music in this is absolutely gorgeous. The pacing is great. I think Vera is a very likable, if not trustworthy character, but again, I'll talk about that in a moment. And generally, it was a very easy, pleasant film to watch. I'd be happy to watch it again. It's never going to be an all-time favourite, but actually, apart from a few things here and there, it's pretty much without problem. And I really enjoyed it, and it worked really well, so I definitely recommend it. It's currently on Amazon Prime in the UK. So a few tiny things that I didn't love, and they are tiny, tiny things. They didn't really affect my enjoyment of the film, but if we're looking for, ways of improvement, these are things that I want to point out. And the first one is that, these are spoilers, of course, I should point that out. The first thing I want to mention is that Vera quit 2 jobs within a couple of days. I'm not surprised she was fired from her other job at the beginning if she's that unreliable. She's a really likable character. It didn't affect my judgment of her, but she quit the pageant and then quit the other job. And I don't think that's a very good sign of a good director if they're willing to just drop things at the last minute. So that wasn't great. The other thing, and as I mentioned before, I'm slightly concerned about Kristin's mental well-being because she became attached to Vera so quickly, to the point where when Vera was leaving, she had a temper tantrum like a toddler. Okay, that's not fair. Maybe it wasn't quite as dramatic as that. But she went in a real mood like a spoiled little madam because this woman she's known for a couple of days is leaving. And that's just ridiculous. Maybe if her father has told her some stories about their past together, it gave her a sense of having known her for longer. But still, that's not a healthy reaction for somebody who's only known somebody a few days. And all things considered, they didn't spend that much time together. at least what we saw, but with the passage of time, they wouldn't have been that much time to spend together anyway. So I thought Kristin definitely overreacted. Maybe you could argue since she lost her mother, she is very clingy around mother figures, but I still think that it's not a healthy response for a child of her age to have after knowing somebody for really not very long at all. But as I said, these are minor things, nothing that actually annoyed me too much. Generally, The Christmas Pageant is still a film that I really enjoyed and definitely recommend.